somebody else to host a GIS.
That might be something the IT consultant could recommend.
Very much beyond where we're at right now. We are using the county's GIS map, creating a layer, so I'm not sure we have to go into a point where we're having somebody else host it, et cetera, but we can talk about that, like I said, once we get the map created.
Okay, Bolton Mink was recommended by the committee because they had a cap on what they were
They had a maximum not to exceed.
not to exceed.
It's an hourly rate, but not to exceed. And again, it wasn't as open-ended.
From talking in the meeting, it sounds like there's a lot of valves that we don't know, that not quite sure where they're at, or they might be in different places than what you think they are, so it'll take longer probably to go through them than what normal people would think.
What was the hourly rate, Al?
They don't have an hourly rate.
Was their not to exceed rate or
Their
amount
not to
was-
exceed amount is, for those two tasks, is $21,600.
Okay.
Okay. That's for the whole project, or per year? Or?
For
Well,
those,
it's a one-time project. I mean, this is an isolated
But it's for
project.
these two phases,
right.
Two tasks, correct.
two tasks.
Okay.
And I would ask that, based on the way their proposal is written, that we identify task 1 and task 2 specifically.
Now, say 20 years down the road, we expand out, add more water lines. Are we able to update this, or would we have to go back through them or another company to do it?
We have the ability to maintain it once we have the map completed. You know, quite honestly, the challenge that we have is there's some gaps, pretty big gaps in what we have for information right now. Not sure why.
For those, I'm sure everybody's familiar, we do use Bolton Mink for the airport engineering firm, and they've been, I think, good to work with.
They're the ones that done this. They're the ones that suggested this. 21,000. Yeah.
No, we've talked about this for a long time.
We're-
No,
Yes,
that's
they-
their proposal,
That's-
Yes.
not to
Right.
exceed 21.6.
Okay, that's my
Yeah,
question.
Oh,
Sorry.
we went to we asked them to.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need a motion to approve the Bolton Mink proposal for GPS GIS services and web development.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Brown, seconded by Vaughn. Any further discussion? We don't need a roll
We're
call on
talking
that.
just task 1 and task 2, right?
Yes.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Brown,
Yes.
Allen,
Yes.
Linius,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Dallenbach,
Yes.
Grover.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Motion carried. I'm down to reports. Let's see, who do we have out there? Doug's not here.
Doug is not.
Denny, would you, or not Denny, Chief, would you like to come, step back up again, and give us a report?
I could.
Just a couple
Let's make Denny the chief. Sorry about that.
Sorry about it. Real quick, just to let the council know, Officer Chris Cass and, of course, the department's K-9 Titan completed their field trials today. He called me this afternoon, said Titan performed extremely well, successfully completed all the field trials as a narcotics K-9 and is now certified. For the next 2 days, they will be performing in the field trials for tracking. And upon successfully completing the field trials and the testing for that, they'll also be certified in tracking as well. And hopefully, all goes well, they'll be returning home on Thursday.
Oh, this week?
They'll be
Okay.
returning
So
home
when
on
do I get to
Thursday.
swear in this dog?
Yes, I look forward to that.
I do too.
I am too.
Is that gonna be maybe ready by the
I'm
next
looking forward to
council
the
meeting?
fall.
I was gonna say, when I talked to the second graders today, when I talked about the police department, I says, and we have a new officer that's coming online that has 4 legs, and they all kinda just looked at me, and they said, what? Yeah, we have a police dog coming for us, and he will be an officer with special duties. They thought that was neat.
It is.
You won't
It is.
bite
We're
the
really looking
mayor
forward
when
to
he's
it.
sworn in, will he?
Pardon?
You won't bite the mayor when he's sworn in?
Better not.
Yeah.
I'd be under strict orders not to.
That will be part of the oath, and will not bite the mayor.
And of course, you earlier you heard Brian Lau report present a brief report to you. And I've met with Brian, and I've iterated to him that what a good job he has been doing. And I just wanted to relay to you, he has really put his heart and soul into code enforcement. And he has just done a remarkable job in speaking with the public, presenting himself on a professional basis to the public, and has really worked well with individuals, really worked well with people. They're receiving him well. We haven't received near the resistance what I thought we would. And I think a lot of that is due to credit of Brian's way he presents himself, explains it to people, presents the documentation to them, and talks to them, and just explains, this is why, this is why. And spells it out in black and white from the code. And
He's usually in police officer uniform,
Oh,
is
yes,
the way he does
always.
this. I think that makes a little bit of
Always.
difference sometimes with
Always.
people too,
Always.
so.
But he really presents himself well, and he explains it well. It takes a lot of time with people, so a lot of times people just don't understand. Really, they've never heard of it, they've never heard of having the grass mowed a certain height or whatnot, or the junk vehicle ordinance. It's on my private property, why can't I have my vehicle mowed on private property? I mean, so he goes through and takes the time to sit down with them and
Yeah.
explains a lot. He's just done a very, very good job in regards to it, so I just want to relay that as well.
I appreciate him coming here periodically too and letting us know where it
Yeah.
goes and how many he's
I-
done, and hopefully those
We want him
numbers
to
will
come in
get
on a monthly
down.
basis, yes, we hope so. We hope that it scales down.
They'll go up for a while
Yeah.
because we'll find more,
Yes,
but
absolutely.
eventually they'll go down.
But I think all of us were a little, or at least I think some of us were a little concerned about having an officer dedicated to this, but there should hopefully be a time, a learning curve that we're going through, and there will be a time when his work will kind of level off at a lower
We
lower
would
rate, and he
fully
can
expect that.
do more of the normal
Yes.
police work.
And we do fully expect that. And even though his prime responsibility is code enforcement,
Yeah.
today we had an incident out at the high school, and myself and Officer Lau responded.
Okay.
Because we were the two officers that were available, and
Yeah.
we're the ones that responded. High school requested for assistance, we went out to the high school, met with the staff out there, we took care of the problem. Even though it's his prime concern and his
Right.
prime focus, that doesn't relieve him of his other responsibilities.
Okay,
As
good.
other calls come in, if he's the officer available, if other officers tied up, he still responds.
Yeah.
He goes. And he's responded to traffic accidents, he's responded to other calls from the public as well.
Yeah, okay, good.
Very good.
I would think too, it's a good public relations for the whole department.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of the poster boy for the police department at this
Mhm.
point.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, it certainly has been.
Randy, I have a question. Did Wilson get a certificate for all this?
Oh,
stuff?
yes, thank you. I'm glad you brought that up. One other thing, one of our reserves officers was departmental was what they term as departmental certified. In other words, the city is certified, and the department is certified him to serve as reserve officer within the city. We felt when we reflected upon the fact of what occurred in Oklahoma with the reserve officer down there, same thing. Department certified reserve officer down there. And everything ended up in a tragic shooting involving that officer. And unfortunately, everything was brought into play. He was not state certified, he was department certified. And we took a look at that, and I brought in Officer Wilson, and I requested that he become state certified. And until such time, until he did so, but he has completed that. Took the modules through the Law Enforcement Academy. The Law Enforcement Academy, we were notified today, he completed all the modules, successfully tested throughout all the modules, and we received a certificate today, as well as notification from the Academy that he is state certified now.
Very good.
So, you'll see Officer Wilson out there.
Good.
Just to clarify things, the modules and stuff was something that happened how long ago? When did they start that?
Well, they would have started in 1996.
Okay, and Wilson actually started with a reserve before that took place.
1994.
So his,
He was actually grandfathered in by the state, and that's,
Right.
they said, you're department certified. You could serve as a reserve, but you're department certified. The state would not certify you unless you went through their modules, their training modules.
so he had started before that process,
is
so
correct.
he didn't skip around something, it just.
No.
He was grandfathered into it.
No.
so-
The state grandfathered those in before they started. They said, you guys have served before, blah, blah, blah.